don't think shit stink, pink gators. My Detroit players, Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. Dead right.
All right, welcome back to another episode. My name is Ben with Lakeside Defense, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about EDC. Now, what is EDC? EDC stands for everyday carry. So in the context of what we're talking about today, and because we're a gun company, we're talking about pistols, but EDC can cover anything from what you carry in your pocket, basically everyday carry, wallet, flashlights, knives, and things like that. And we're big fans of just having a good EDC. But like I said, for us today, I wanted to go over what I carry. Okay, this is the Glock 45. Now 45 isn't an indicator of the caliber because it is chambered in 9mm. Everything I shoot as far as pistol is 9mm. 45 is just the model number. So this is it. And basically what I wanted to do is just kind of cover what I carry and why I carry. Okay, so the Glock is number one. Sorry, Sid guys, sorry. 2011 guys, number one for me, just because I shot polymer guns. I actually started, kind of embarrassing, but I started with the XD. I think I can't remember the model number, but it was my very first pistol. I was super proud of it. But having shot a Glock after owning that, it's been Glock ever since. So Glock 19, if you're familiar, the Glock 45 is a variant, I would say, of that. Basically what the Glock 45 is a mixture of both the Glock 19 and the Glock 17. So in the sense of some measurements here. So Glock 19, the slide is going to be the same, but this isn't going to be a Glock 19 size frame. This is actually the Glock 17 size frame. So I'm not, I don't have Sasquatch hands, but I would say my hands are bigger than most. And so the Glock 17 just gives me a little more purchase, more so than the Glock 19. But this is plenty. So even as my fingers are under there where it should be, I still have a little bit of room there. Also with this extended magazine well here, it gives it that much more purchase. But a couple reasons why I run this big of an EDC. Why do you need that? Number one, I'm a bigger guy, so I can conceal a little bit better these bigger pistols. Number two, this magazine, normally it's 17 rounds. As you can see here, this isn't a normal Glock magazine because I've added this base plate. This is from Strike Industries, I believe. I bought it off of a buddy here locally in Utah, and that just gives it 4 more rounds. So having this big of a rifle, it does afford me more rounds if I need it. But what on the downside of that, I would say it's more bulky. So that is kind of the downside. But if you're wanting to just run the pistol and the mag that's inserted, you can, because you have tons of ammo in there. Not tons, but more so than a single stack 9mm gun. So if you wanted to do away with an extra magazine, then you could get away with it if you wanted to. So save weight on carrying an extra mag, but that weight just goes to the magazine. Kind of just sixes there. But what I have on top is the Trijicon SRO. This is the 2.5 MOA model, and 2.5 MOA basically is the dot size. They have other models. 2.5 was perfect for me. And as you can see, I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick this up, but this, in comparison to other red dot optics, this is a huge window. So what that allows me to do is not only see where I'm needing to shoot, but I can see around it as well. And it's so easy to pick up that dot. Trijicon makes another great optic, which is the RMR, which is kind of their flagship, I would say, for pistol optics. But this one is right up there. Not as rugged as the RMR, just because of the shape of it. Yeah, for me, I love the SRO for the field of view, and just how easy it is for me to pick up that dot. I don't have suppressor height sights on here. As you can see, I just haven't gotten around to it, but I need to, because where the sights sit right now and where that optic sits, it's basically bunk. I really can't tell what I'm looking at because the optic is in the way. So that is something I've already considered, and I will upgrade. I just make sure that I'm always changing the battery so this dot is always on for me. Okay, just so you're aware, this weapon is clear. Another thing about EDC, and I think I might have mentioned this earlier, is flashlights. People, they'll carry knives, they'll carry chapstick, flashlights. One recommendation I always have as far as your pistol, and especially your EDC pistol, is always have a light. I'm running the Surefire XC1 on here, and basically how you'll actuate the light is there's these two tabs on either side of the trigger guard that you're able to momentarily turn on the light. So if you're right-handed like me, it's perfect. Wherever my thumb sits, as far as the rest, I can just pop down and actuate that light. And that's a momentary on light. And then the nice thing about this model is also has a constant on button that I can switch on and off from either side. So completely ambidextrous, left and right side will have that tab. It does run out of battery fast, but the batteries that it uses, it's super available anywhere. And that's a AAA battery. So Surefire, they make great lights, they make great suppressors. It's a great company, and it's something I would entrust my life to. Obviously, this is my EDC, so if you can, don't skimp on anything. If you're going to be carrying it for self-defense or home defense, whatever the case, you always want to make sure you're buying high quality products from manufacturers and companies that you know have that pedigree. And Surefire 100% is one of them, along with Glock. People hate on Glock. I don't know why. It might be aesthetics. I mean, compared to a SIG, man, SIG looks sweet. Staccatos look sick. Stock Glock, especially, that doesn't have the stippling or back straps or all done up with the slide, it can look very unappealing, but this is such a reliable platform. And so I love running Glocks. I actually have the 43X that I picked up not too long ago. The 43X is a smaller version. Not a version, it's just a smaller pistol. It's a single stack. So with this magazine, if you can see here, there's two sides in this magazine that the rounds will go through. Single stack, there's just one line of bullets, so that kind of limits you on the rounds. But the 43X is considerably smaller than this one. That one I can keep it in my bag. The reason I don't have it is because I don't have the holster in yet. Speaking of holsters, I did want to kind of cover this inside the weights belt holster that I got. This is QVO Tactical, quick violent over. They're out of Las Vegas, Nevada, just a state over from us. I did make a little change to it. Sorry, Roger, if this is kind of blasphemous, but for me, I like this clip better. I don't know the name of it, to be honest, but the clip that came on there was one where once it's mounted, I can wear it right here, appendix, but I also can tuck a shirt in. So there was a little kind of channel down behind the clip that allowed me to tuck a shirt in. This one, it doesn't allow me to do that, and I'll demonstrate that in a little bit. But it's comfort. It's comfort for me. And this is a bigger gun. I'm using it, wearing it with a coat or just bigger shirt. So it wasn't an issue for me to switch this out because I'm not tucking in my shirts, especially with this. It's super hard to conceal. But what I'll do now is I'll show you how I carry it, and I'll kind of explain the differences of where people carry why. And this being a bigger gun, you can definitely see kind of some of the drawbacks on that, and we'll cover that here in a sec. So the way that I carry my pistol is at my appendix. So just right here, there's a bunch of different ways that people carry. They'll carry, there's shoulder holsters. So they'll just tuck them in either side of the shoulder. They'll go here on their side, their back end. But again, appendix for what I'm carrying, this is how I'm gonna carry, just because it's super easy for me to access the weapon if I need to. Now there are some drawbacks and I'll cover that. But as you can see, this is a full pistol that I'm concealing, And again, usually if I'm carrying this, I have clothes that are kind of looser fitting, or if I have an overgarment like a windbreaker or a jacket. Being here in Utah half of the year where we're in the cold or in the fall, so we always have garments that we wear over. Now it's sticking out a little bit just because the magazine, I have that base plate extension, but normally this is what it looked like with just the normal mag that I keep in there. I just wanted to kind of showcase what it would look like with that. But so this is what I look like from the side with it. You can tell if you were looking for it, if it's another gun guy and he can see you imprinting, then he can tell. But majority of people, if they're looking at me, they can't really tell that I have a pistol. But I have a full size pistol with 20 plus rounds that I'm carrying right there. Sorry, I don't have the proper belt and I'm kind of getting caught up on my mic, but this is where I keep my EDC. And this holster, just kind of going back to this holster, this was made specifically for inside the waist belt at the appendix area, but you are able to move this around. It's just, like I said, it's made for the appendix area. Now, one thing that I did want to cover is size. So when I'm wearing this, let's say out and about when I'm walking, that's fine. Like, I do have a belly that sticks out, but it's not uncomfortable because it's still, I'm kind of upright and my belly's just kind of touching it. But if I were to sit down, and I still can, don't get me wrong, it kind of hinders that, being able to sit down, and it's uncomfortable. So a couple tricks, if you're a bigger guy like me, before I sit down, I can kind of move it to the side and then sit down. That'll get it out of the way of your stomach, or you can ride it higher above your belly button. And what that does, it kind of keeps the belly button or the belly itself back, so it's not digging right there into your EDC. So I can, and I've done it multiple times where I can sit at a restaurant and keep it on me, but just keep that in mind. Inside the waist belt at the appendix is what I prefer because it's easy for me to access if I'm using it. But if I'm sitting down, I just got to take into consideration like my body size, the pistol size, how the holster sits, how high it sits. Take that into consideration, use that, and go off of that for your everyday carry. So this isn't a long video, but I do want to stress the importance of keeping an EDC where you can, and then also just going with parts, do your due diligence in finding what you want to run for an optic, what you want to run for a trigger, and the pistol itself. There's so many different options, especially in this day and age. So make sure if it's a pistol that you're going to carry for home defense, especially your EDC, make sure you do your due diligence and buy from reputable companies. So thanks again for watching. Anything that I use on here, I'll have it linked in my kit link below. And then make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Lakeside Defense. Thank you.